Tengo todo, no busco cualquiera, no mal deseo. Tengo todo lo que tengo, no busco cualquiera, es un mal deseo. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor, no quisiste. De noche siento el olor, casi loca por tu amor, no quisiste mi calor, me dejaste sin razón. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara. Ya no quiero más tu karma, no vuelvo más a esta cama. Si no quieres más mi alma, no vas a ver mi puta cara.
What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Melanie Method. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Melanie Method Show. I appreciate the very few that takes the time to watch my videos. So I do want to thank you very much. And I appreciate you dealing with me throughout the technical support issues that I support myself through, the technical glitching, etc., the BS software and everything, because I don't have it all together. I'm a fly by night content creator, meaning that I have a full-time life and I focus on my life versus this, because I know unless I figure this out and figure out how to get monetized and figure out what to do on here, yeah. That's all I will say, y'all. Hold on, wait a minute. Please tell me I didn't pour a whole full drink in here. That ain't what I just did, y'all. Anyway, I was so trying to get the focusing right on this because it just kind of looks blurry in my face. I started pouring myself this drink, the skinny margarita drink. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to digest it really good. So I'm letting it I'm gonna let it dilute down. But anyway, you guys, what has been up with you guys? I have been really, really busy as far as with my new job that I know I'm not going to be at long. I'm not going to have that role long, only because I don't like sales. And then when you place insurance into the sales equation, yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. I honestly, to be real with you guys, I'm gonna be 100% real. I feel insurance should be made extremely affordable. I wouldn't say it should be free because nothing in life is free. I feel though, from being a citizen and going in any country, and I feel like with all we go through with crooked government, government that excessively spends, government that places us in danger for violent migrants to rape and murder our children as well as ourselves. I feel anytime we endure all of that, the low pay, the pay that's higher, but we got to put up with a whole bunch from these different corporations, how corrupt and broken our welfare system is, the Social Security Administration system, the Treasury system, the prison system, all of these disgusting systems that are not working effectively within our world. So with that being said, I feel like things should be made a lot more affordable for us. And I also feel that as a citizen, if we cannot afford to be buried, we should be given a proper burial at minimum cost. Yeah, by minimum costs. And if our family can afford to upgrade the things, then that would help a lot of family members out there that loses loved ones and they didn't have insurance because they couldn't afford it because they had so many other obligations. United States, the government, they need to learn how to start helping citizens before they can say anything to me. And that's what President Trump is trying to do. And I don't understand how people can't sit down, close their eyes and focus. And you know what? As you're focusing, think on where you're going wrong as either a Democrat, a part of the Democratic Party, or a Democratic follower, a left-wing liberal. Just do like this. Just sit down. Focus on what happened for the last 4 years and really focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on how we gradually, please do not remain blindfolded to the fact that we paid substantially higher for everything. During the 4 years that Joseph Robinette Biden was in the office, mortgage rates skyrocketed all the way up, skyrocketed. Because I can't even get my words out when I'm so passionate about something sometimes. They skyrocketed. So many migrants were allowed to flood over here to where it made us uncomfortable. It made us financially uncomfortable. It made us uncomfortable because now we had to be unsafe because now we're living amongst people that's not used to following our traditions. They feel if they want to go down the street and they want to skin a dog or somebody's cat, why not? Because they do that over in Haiti. They do that over in Venezuela. They do that over in Ecuador. They do that in Cuba. Even the Chinese, there's some Chinese that skins animals. Okay, so, and there's nothing wrong with that if that's what they do in their country. Let them do what they do and let us do what we do. But no country should never be forced to just acquire a bucket loads of other people of different cultures like that. And it makes it to where it's no longer financially feasible for them. We should never be forced as people that are held accountable for paying our taxes, for paying things that we should not have a responsibility or obligation to. That's what liberal people need to face. If you can't get it right yourself as a country, why would you invite a whole bunch of people over? That's just like if you are broke, okay? And you have several people that needs a place to stay. You should not allow them to come into your home because you don't have yourself together as a whole. And I think I worded it really similar to this, if not exactly like this, in several other of my videos. And it's just sad to watch the things in between me working, and I'll get back to that in a moment. But in between me working, I still watch my my different commentators on YouTube. Shout out to Devori Darkin. Shout out to Officers Hate Shout out. I don't really watch LFR Family anymore. It's when he changed his thumbnails up. As much as I love Van, I do really like him. But when he changed them thumbnails up, it just started making me look at him in a different way. And it made me kind of stop watching his videos. So it seems like he's trying a lot of different things new to see what works and what he changes. Sometimes you got to stick to what you're doing. Because I don't like the way it's looking now. So I don't. A lot of people would say my stuff doesn't look right because it doesn't. It's crappy. I don't have an editor. I don't have someone that can go through my content, tell me what I should add in. And I don't have any of that. I don't have a teleprompter. I don't write a script because a lot of commentators, they write scripts. They write everything out before they even do these videos. That's how it really is done, you guys, for those that don't know. I don't do any of that. When you get me, you get exactly how I'm feeling at that moment. That's exactly how you get. And that's awesome and everything, but it's not professional. It's not polished. And I understand that. So I'm in no way speaking like I'm this professional commentator and I've got it all. And no, it's nothing like that. I'm a person that loves to talk. I love to talk about things that is happening in our world and across the world. I like to talk about things I've experienced because I'm pretty sure a lot of people that have watched me, they've went through a lot of similar experiences that I have. And some things maybe not, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you haven't been lied by a physician telling you that you had a hiatal hernia, and then the other physicians telling you not. So everyone goes through something, but that's what I'm here for. So I ran out of my marijuana. I only have one more edible. My car is down, and I just have a few more of my THC pills, and they still work. I had these pills like for years. I bought these in Pittsburgh. It's from a couple years ago. And they're still good. So that's cool. I think I'm gonna have to get more of those. I really do, because it seems like it makes you really comfortable. That's what I need, because it seems like I sleep really good on them. The only thing I will say, yeah, these are Pennsylvania. It says expertly grown, extracted in Pennsylvania. Hold on, I'll show y'all. But I don't know if you guys can see that, but they came from a dispensary in Pennsylvania. Before I left there, when I was still living there, I had these all them years. Oh, now I can drink it a little bit. That just goes to show everybody I'm not strung out on that, and like I'm not thirsty for nothing, because I can hold on. I still got pain pills that I don't even take. They're probably expired. I don't want to find out because I fuck around and don't get up for work because I'll be passed out. But because I am in pain a lot, you guys, because I have a lot of arthritis in my shoulder, like up here. I didn't know for sure it was arthritis until a doctor told me last year. He did a CT scan and he told me, he said, you know, you have severe arthritis in your shoulders. I said, oh, really? As I said, that's what it really is. I kind of figured that, but I wasn't 100% sure. But it's really sad what they're doing to my boy right here. It's really sad what they're doing to him. He's such a good man. He's such a good man. All he's trying to do, he stopped his life to try to help this country. And all the liberals can do is this trash that I'm about to show you guys. Hold on, I'm about to get to the link that I'm going to share with you guys since I got my software back where I can share everything with you guys. Hold on. This is rather disgusting. Like, it's so bad. Where is my history? Why is it always so I can't find nothing? Okay. I would actually. I'm going to, you guys, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see a video from the Cartier family. I would shout out to them. I really love them. And I love the video that they shared. It's really disgusting and appalling, though. I'm going to make my comments as we go, as I normally do, while I drink. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see that. I'm going to full screen it, and we're going to listen to what this crazy, all these crazy left-wing followers are saying. They're highly delusional, highly. You know what? I just like you to show that you got a little emotion about the fact that people are losing their jobs indiscriminately. Mm-hmm. That this individual sitting down the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue has given absolute power to one man who brings his son into the Oval Office, whose son says to him, "You're not the president." So I just like to see somebody wake the hell up and get excited about the fact that your country is under assault. They're not at the gate anymore. They're in your bedrooms. They're in your living rooms. They're in your businesses. They got your data. They got all your stuff. Elon Musk has the tentacles in everything you're doing, not just off of X, but now he's in the Treasury Department. He's in the Labor Department. Okay, so what I'm going to say on this, you guys, is that what happens when the president of the United States hires someone to handle something and they're sworn? What happens is they're obligated now to perform a duty and a function. So Elon Musk's job as someone that is going to be, I forget exactly what his title is. God, I'm so bad with like things like that because I don't really care what his actual title is. All I care about is that he's doing it effectively, and he is. Basically, what he's doing is that he's investigating everything economically that has been happening within the government. So basically, he is the person that's going to go in and make sure everything is financially efficient and effective within the government. So in order for him to effectively do that, he would have to do a full audit on what was going on as far as the spending within the government for the last several of years. It probably is even going back before Biden was even in. Okay, it depends on how far he goes back. But with that being said, he's now part of the government. Elon Musk had contracts with the government. But any entity of the government can access your information. So the way the Democrats are playing on that is ignorant. It's ignorant as hell. It's ignorant as hell. I pretty much work for the government, but in an indirect way, because when you work for a financial institution, they're federally regulated. So with that being said, if you bank with that bank, I can get all of your information. If I work at a healthcare facility, I can get all of your information because hospitals are federally regulated. So I'm just looking at the ignorance that a lot of these Black people are saying, these ignorant white lefties, and anyone that's following even about race. I'm just a person that talks like that. I guess that's the liberalness that's still in me somewhere. I guess that's the ignorance. But I never was a liberal though. However, I'm not going to lie and say that I was ever a full-on conservative either. I'm a person that fights for justice, and I fight for what's right, and I believe in what's right. And everything the Democratic Party reflects and displays is not right. It's wrong. And they're very corrupt. I've never seen people like him and a whole bunch of group of people that get angry when a man is trying to help us and save us money. We should never be being held accountable to pay our taxes every year. Work very hard, slave at multiple jobs, okay? Only to not have a government provide us as to where the funds are going. There's been several trillions of dollars that was spent, and they have I believe it was embezzled, to be honest. And I believe they did so much covering up to where it's being hard to figure out where all the money has went to. That's what I personally believe. But this is who these people are fighting for. Do you realize that the Democratic Party is so weak right now and so embarrassing and so shameful that even the funding has stopped for them? The fundraisers, the people that normally fund the Democratic Party, they're no longer wanting to fund them. So that should tell everyone that wants to be on the left side, something's going wrong here. We're not thinking this through. Maybe Trump really is trying to help us. Maybe he is really trying to make our spending more efficient and effective. Maybe he's trying to stop embezzlement. Because a lot of the things I'm seeing, based on what I'm hearing, it's sounding like if there's no paper trail, that means it's being stolen. And that's how you're seeing a lot of politicians. You're seeing a lot of congresswomen, all of them as a whole, and they're making all of this money that they should not be having. It's because they're stealing. They're stealing. I believe money is being printed. In addition to money is being mismanaged, and it's being given back to the government. That's what I believe is happening. But hopefully it'll come out with Elon's due diligence. And I'm starting to really like Elon even more and more, because I appreciate him. Like, he shows all his imperfections on camera. He's very transparent, just as Trump is. Because to come on TV and he's not the best with public, you can tell that he gets stage fright. And I appreciate that. And I believe that's why he did that thing with his arm. He was awkward. And everybody took that opportunity to say it was a Nazi pose. Even I made a video about it, because it did look pretty bad. I know Elon's also a person that likes to crack jokes. He likes to laugh. He likes to troll. So that's why I made the video, because I was like, wow, is he trolling or not? But if he were trolling, that is what the Democratic Party would deserve for calling us all Nazis. So let's go back to the video. Okay.
He's in the Department of Homeland Security, and nobody seems to give a. So that's all I want, somebody to show that they care enough to get off their fat and say something about it.
This woman's really sick.
No, they're not. You know they're not. Trump's not a Nazi, neither is Elon. Elon's our favorite African-American immigrant. Elon's an African-American. You don't like African-Americans? Oh my God.
It's Kevin 100 though.
Is Hitler reincarnated?
Everybody is Hitler, though, to the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is Hitler to the left. Like, everyone you don't like is Hitler, right? Pretty much.
I'm not even talking to you.
Do you agree with Doge?
Okay, so did you notice something with her interaction? Soon as they ask them something that they know is really the truth, they shut down. They don't want to talk no more, because they can't take the truth. Instead of accepting the truth and taking accountability and saying, oh, maybe they got a point. Maybe we're going too far with this. They just keep it going. And it's embarrassing, and it's very scary. It's very scary. It got me about to start slurring like my dad. So, yeah, it got me scared.
You don't like them finding the fraud in our government?
They slaughtered our government in
$4.7 trillion was untraceable. So that's $4.7 trillion that is likely to be money laundered.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
She said that they slaughtered our government. Wow, that's so disrespectful.
It's crazy to me that
that's disrespectful.
that make sure you pay your taxes.
It's 36 trillion.
And they can't keep on
36 trillion. Yeah, so 4.7 of that is untraceable. 36.2 trillion is our debt. And that's probably went up. That's from February 5th. Let's say the 17th. It's 12 days ago. Who knows what it's at now? It's probably at 37. Close. Who knows? Hopefully Elon and them are putting a fork in that road, though. They can turn this thing around.
They lost $4.7 trillion, and they cannot figure out where it's at. But they want to make sure that you pay your IRS
Hey, they're looking into IRS too. IRS is
We have
suspect.
we have the largest debt in the world.
Duh, you know that. Duh.
So America live off.
Where do you think the money that we just send out to people comes from? It adds on to the debt.
But I thought, they got rid of
like China billions of dollars.
Yeah, because we got rid of the gold standard. Right? That's why the debt keep going higher and higher. So
like the debt just climbs every day. Like there's a website that's called the National Debt Calculator, and it just constantly goes up. Like you can just sit there and watch it go up.
So America's built off of credit,
pretty much brutality.
So
pretty much credit, and like you can't zip us.
In 2022, the debt was 30 trillion, right? So
6 trillion in 2 years.
So
3 years now.
What would happen if America paid off all of it? Who
knows, honestly?
Like, would our economy thrive?
I don't know what America would look like. That's a great question. I really
nobody ever answered that question because like
trillions of dollars though, it's gonna take years to fix.
But instead he's going up.
It might take our lifetime to fix. But we're steady spending money.
So like
money's all being spent every second of every day.
But that's why they're cutting this shit down.
Yeah, that's why they're talking about cutting the national deficit.
You're telling me America is just gonna forever live off debt?
Yes.
So
America is built on debt. Taking out loans for cars and houses and
you're right.
It's literally built on debt. Literally, what they teach you in school is to pave your way to success by taking on debt. That's literally what they teach you. Go to college, take out loans, get a car, take out some loans.
He's right.
Is that not what they teach you? The way to success is? Get in debt, pay off debt. They want you to be a slave.
Yeah.
You work. You have
Thank
to rely on your job.
I love him.
I feel like
but that's just my conspiracy
starting
theory.
with the federal government is the start. That's the best way to start. So people are upset about it.
Because what the heck happened to love one another? We are here for the cause of love.
Listen to this.
This is not about money.
Neither.
This is about the people. And the people, I see people with disabilities, you're beautiful. I see black people, you're beautiful. I see immigrants, you're beautiful. I see queer people, you're beautiful. I see Christians, Islamic.
Listen how crazy she sounds. She's what actually inspired me to make this video tonight because I should be doing my quizzes. I already got one of my classes pretty much done, and then this one doesn't have a lot. I can just lay up all night and just keep doing them. That's what I love about working on a business degree. It's pretty much just reading. It's quizzes. You test yourself. You test your knowledge. You ain't got to write a whole bunch of stuff. Every now and then you do, or you got to formulate a business plan. But my school doesn't care if we implement certain different variations of AI to assist in some of the writing. So that definitely helped. AI is very helpful, y'all. Like, yeah, but this school actually lets us use the AI. So that's dope. And they're Philadelphia based. So holla, they brick and mortar. They've been around since like the 1800s, I think, or the early 1900s. Like, nah, nigga, now the way she was saying all of that bitch made me make this video. What do you mean you're fighting for the people? What do you mean? You see black people, you see Christians, you see whites, you see fucking disabled people, you see Ethiopian and African and all. First of all, it was fake to even say all of that because that's not needed, okay? And if you really were fighting for your people, you would be supporting Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And the reason why that would be is that you wouldn't want to see your people continually being played and misled and lied to, like we've been being lied to for the beginning of time from the government. We finally got a president. Celebrate, okay? Because he's older and he's a very strong, resilient man. He's an amazing man, an amazing leader, but he's not going to live forever. And when he goes, all of his brilliance goes. It's going to have to follow down to Eric. It's going to have to follow down to Barrett. You know what I mean? Or his daughter, Ivanka. Okay? His brilliance is going to live on. Thank God. Thank God. But they can't save us. They can't save us. Only people coming together and open up their mind and being more open-minded. That's what would save us. If they would stop being so stupid and wake up and just try to see, give the man the chance to fix this shit. Your people did this to us, okay? They did this to us. They spent money, was giving everybody condoms to Gaza, $50 million to Gaza. All these different amounts of money for what? For what? And you're that ignorant to embarrass yourself on national TV talking about you're fighting for the people. What? So we can keep getting ripped off. Why? So y'all can keep pushing genders on our kids and keep putting porn in our children's libraries. So is that what entails fighting for the people, my democratic people? Because that's what you guys are doing. Wake up and see that you are no longer a party. You turn into a pervert. You're a weirdo. Okay? Anytime you're trying to cover up corruption that you know you took part in, that's probably why you're trying to cover it up, majority of them. But for these regular protesters off the street, they didn't get no piece of the pie. They're not congressmen. They ain't part of the Senate. They didn't get no money. So what is your excuse for being tough? Because you still are believing in people. They got an agenda to deplete us from everything. And they have an agenda to let our country be taken over by migrants. But that's who you fighting for. That's who you looking stupid for. That's what you're doing right here. Unbelievable. Like when I heard her say that, I said, oh my God, I got to make a video.
Natives, anyone, you are beautiful. Thank you for existing. No one's told you that. I thank you for existing. God thanks you for existing. Christians stand with you.
Yeah.
We Christians stand with you. We are here and we are ready to fight because this is not okay.
Has another thing too about them, don't they realize that they're not Christians? They support the devil. Every time you mention anything related to God to them, they run. It's almost like that you're showing them garlic. You're feeding them garlic, or you're blazing a whole bunch of sunlight in her, just like how he was talking to her and trying to like tell her the truth, whether he was joking or not, in a joking way about Elon Musk. Everything. As soon as he said something that she knew could have been real, she immediately was just like, "Oh no, I can't talk to you." That's the problem. That is. God, I hate these people.
This is a news day. It's all
This
over the
is
country.
very crazy.
It's
Eloy's died
completely
from cancer.
organizers. It's very now. It doesn't feel like the 2017 version or the campaign of last year. It's addressing a lot of concerns about the current agenda, including we're seeing signs of protesters saying, James, this is not even what people voted for. Even if they are anti-Trump voters, they're calling out a lot of things that they say exceed the president's authority or are dangerous or are gutting of the federal government. What's happening here? What do you see?
What I see is something organic coming up from around the country. I don't think that there was a lot of organization. If you remember in 2017, you had like 1 million women on the mall. This is happening all around the country. So the question is, how should Democratic politicians respond to this? And what I think they should do is what we call in rural America, play possum. Just let it go. Don't get in the way of it. Or as we like to say, don't just stand there, do nothing. Let this germinate. We don't need to be.
He's right. I can't believe it.
This freight train is moving. Let's just get out of the way. And then we're going to have time. In the immortal words of Dalton in Roadhouse, be nice until it's time not to be nice. And that time is coming.
And he's delusional. And even he was able to say, just let it happen, see what he's going to do. And that is the truth. That's what you guys did with Biden. You didn't question what Biden was doing. He wasn't sharing anything with us. He was not telling us anything he was doing from A to Z at all. He was doing all kinds of horrible, corrupt, disgusting, decrepit shit. Nobody questioned nothing he was doing.
Shortly.
I think they should just shut the fuck up, let it play out, and see what the American people want. This is an example of the media hysteria drumming up people. These people are all out here in arms due to media hysteria. They told us Trump is bad. Now they're telling us Elon's taking over our country and we're under attack and our democracy is being destroyed and blah, 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 blah. Now all these people are riled up and scared and they've taken to the streets to protest. And obviously Carville is going to say, oh, this is powerful. Oh, this is organic. Oh, no organization. Well, I mean, where's the organization here? These people are just scared, hooting and hollering and screaming.
I think there is an organization there because I'm seeing flags out there. So
I mean, they're protesting, bro. But at the end of the day, what is this gonna going to get them. Absolutely nothing.
I don't know.
So I don't understand. They should just play possum, just play dead, see what happens.
I can tell you what's majority of the group. Majority of them is probably the trans group.
Disabled.
Or LGBTQ.
And blacks.
I don't think too many blacks.
That's why I don't know why she
I don't know the disabled
blacks out there.
The disabled didn't lose nothing. The veterans didn't lose nothing.
Nobody lost anything. That's why I keep saying, what is happening? Has our life changed? Has anybody's life changed?
I mean, some people
have
lost their jobs, so their life has changed. They lost their livelihood, and that's upsetting. But given the fact that we're trying to close up government spending and make it more efficient and pay for things that make Americans better, I'd rather see the departments that are funneling millions and billions of dollars to foreign countries and transgender shows and LGBTQ spreading across the world.
Other countries' LGBTQ shows.
I mean, I'd rather see millions of dollars spent in our country than other country. If that means you have to lose your job, then that's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
I mean,
it's very unfortunate. I hate that for you, but you can look in the mirror.
But do y'all think that they didn't know that they were bullshit?
I think they 100% thought they were making a difference in the world.
But like, they had to know this could become to an end one day. Like they could if they knew that they were in there sending bullshit and they had a lot of untraceable money. They
probably some people like no cap on the internet, especially on Instagram, on the shade room. Some people is arguing that they should spend the money towards some of the situation. I've seen people saying that Elon and Trump are just seeing a bunch of charitable organizations through the government and not liking it and shutting it down. But at the end of the day, American tax dollars should be spent on America first.
Yeah. If it's not beneficial.
We have homeless people. Imagine what $100 billion could have done for them.
Oh my God.
Imagine what $100 billion They did that in California, and the money is getting corrupted. I don't think all that money is going to that though. That's what I'm saying, it's getting corrupted. Imagine if we had like real tax dollars going to work and we had serious things happening for our country. I think our country would be a much better place. I mean, I think if we spent the tax dollars better, things could get better for America.
Yeah, I don't see why you cry about. The Democrats claim that we cry about taxes. The Republicans will cry about taxes the most, and they don't know what to do with the tax money. Apparently, Josh shouldn't even be saying the word taxes at all.
We wanted to have you on because you do a lot of focus groups. You really get behind the numbers, the poll numbers, to the sentiments of voters. And it's so interesting. You've been speaking with a number of voters who were Hillary Clinton 2016, Joe Biden 2020, and then went for Trump in 2024. How are these folks seeing the early days of Trump's second term?
Pretty well.
Really?
And they're reacting to it because they love the pace of change. They were very fed up over the last 4 years. They wanted action. They wanted results. They looked at prices. They looked at affordability, looked at immigration, and they didn't see anything happening. They still don't like what he says, but they like what he does. And these are Democrats now who felt that they were not securing the border. They were doing nothing to prevent illegal immigration, that nothing was actually happening. They wanted to see a reduction in wasteful Washington spending, and they're seeing that. So what they tell me is, I wish you would be a little bit less rude. But at the same time, they like what he's doing. They believe he's serious about it. And for the first time, they have confidence in the future, which is why you now see some significant shifts in the polling about the expectations for the direction in the coming years.
It's a big wake-up call for Democrats.
I'm waiting for them to get a message. I'm waiting for them
We
to
all are,
unify
sir,
and
with
to
the funny
understand
hairstyle.
that to oppose and to be the resistance, which is what some of them use
You
that
are the
phrase. That's
goddamn
not what
cartoonish
Democrats in grassroots areas want from them. They may not want the approach that Trump is doing, President Trump. By the way, I now know to say President Trump, but they do want action, and they don't see action from the Democrats.
They don't. Simple as what it is.
How are the voters who
I
swung
can't
the
stand
election
this lady.
for President Trump feeling
She's
about
crazy.
his first few weeks in office? Our friends at Engages talked to some Arizona voters who switched from voting for Joe Biden in 2020 to Trump in 2024, and so far, they mostly like what they see.
I just think he's trying to get America back on track as quickly as possible, given the state that it was left in from the previous administration.
It feels more merit and transparency that I'm getting from the administration so far.
I approve of a lot of the stuff that he's doing with the border and everything.
He's put other countries on notice that were to be taken seriously.
For the most part, I feel like he's on the right track by keeping the transgenders out of women's sports. That's number one.
All 11 Biden-Trump voters say they approve of Donald Trump's first weeks in office. What we are seeing right now is what Donald Trump campaigned on.
Right.
We've said that umpteen times now in the past
She's
4
so
weeks.
mad.
What he didn't campaign on was the Elon Musk of it all. That Elon Musk would be going in and the person with his team doing this and doing this at the pace with which they are moving. I want you to listen to what Jonah.
Remember her colleague said, by definition, he's not being transparent.
I think this is a lie. Trump did
Be
come
going in.
He did.
We were there in the New York rally when
No,
Trump was there. We watched it. He
They were
campaigned
coming
on it.
out with something called Doge.
They're never going to tell the truth.
Elon came out and said, Elon spoke at multiple Trump rallies and said, the people, we're going to come into the government and reform the government, see where our tax dollars are going and reform the corruption. They said that multiple times.
Yeah, I seen everybody cheering today.
Yeah, like what are we talking about?
And the person with his team doing this and doing this at the pace with which they are moving. I want you to listen to what Jonas G., he is one of those Biden to Trump voters, said about that. Doesn't seem that concerned.
He's moving fast to dismantle the corruption, which there's so much of it. Everywhere he turns, there's stuff that they have to take out. Went to one agency and what 80%, 90% of that agency's been spending stuff that nobody would approve of.
I wanted to talk about that, Isaac, but then just that last part, 80 to 90% of the agency spending stuff nobody would approve of. We don't know that because there's no accountability. Maybe at the end of the day, once we can actually look at it, perhaps that's going to be right. But we have no idea, which also speaks to the fact that there is such a fractured media consumption environment that is getting even more so. We don't know. I mean, Jonas G. is listening to, they said at the beginning, some mainstream media, but who knows where this information is coming from?
Yeah, and that's part.
So what you were mentioning earlier about flooding the zone, seeing the president all the time, every day, multiple times a day, which could not be more different from Joe Biden. And the question is whether that's what these voters wanted.
He said he was going to do this, 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 and this, and this is what he's starting to get done.
And he only has 4 years to do it. It's not like he can run again. He already did his first term. So some of these things you can't fix overnight. So he has to get started early on. He has 4 years and he made promises in his campaign. He won because of those promises. So it's going to need to work.
I like what they said.
Yeah, and I was also struck in other clips, and I've heard this as voters, with the term transparency to describe Donald Trump and Elon Musk going on camera and talking. Somebody might be looking at their statements and say, well, what he just said wasn't true. We fact checked it. He's counter.
Shout out to Cartier family, y'all. Like, if I will try to include the link in the description. The reason why I say try is because I always forget. So I'm so sorry, guys. But like, I just be seeing this shit, and I see so much more. I'm seeing bitches that's leaving their kids in the house for 4 years in Michigan. That was disgusting. Like, I'm just seeing so much in the media. It got me like tripping, y'all. It really does. In addition to, I did start a new life insurance role. I've never really been a type of person that loves sales. I never have, depending on what it's about. Like if it's about a product of some type, like a household product or makeup, anti-aging, anything to where I feel like it could be a really good use to someone, okay, I'm all in. But like life insurance is very useful. However, like I said, being that we pay taxes and everything, it should be made way more affordable. There should be more options to people that are having a crisis paying for it, and then their family member passes away. There should be some more support, in my opinion. I feel like if we're supporting migrants for millions and billions of dollars, help us like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I try to keep my thoughts to myself. I should be making more videos. I should be doing more on here. I should be figuring things out better. But the rational part of me kind of knows, like, I got a whole bunch of bills, so I got to work. But other than that, I've been really happy. I'm still really happy. Just making money, doing me, la la la. I got a good bit of shit planned in my near future. I did consult with a manufacturing corporation that has been working with me with designing what mod home I want. for a reasonable price because I don't want to go over a certain amount for my mortgage if I build on my land in Michigan, which I still plan to do, but like I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to PA first and then try to start building on a land in Michigan. It doesn't matter either way, the land is mine. So I'm still going through things with that. I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna buy a car straight out with cash, which is what I prefer, but I don't want to spend all of my money because I have other things I need to do. As you guys very well know, people that have been watching me and following me, I don't drive. So I'm in the process of also getting driver's training at 42, and I'm going to try to get my license. It's just, I don't plan on driving a lot once I get my license. I plan on doing it as an emergency. And so that way I can be independent and I don't need anyone to take me anywhere. So that's one thing I should have been doing when I was like 16. I didn't have the proper push. I should push myself like I did to get my bachelor's degree, but I didn't. And you can't be mad at yourself too much for not doing everything in life because we're only human. I am mad at myself though. What else do I have going on? I don't know why I always got to get this guy in my class likes me, like, and he really does like me, like God, like we've been texting and just keeps talking about how beautiful I am, how sexy I am, all this bullshit, all these same lines that all these dudes pull, and I'm like, dude, I kind of don't care about all of this. I forget why we started texting to begin with. Like, what was the reason? Oh, because I didn't want to I didn't want him to keep instant messaging me through the company thing. Yeah, but I said, well, just text me. He just don't know. I have no interest in him whatsoever. And the primary reason is because he's just like every other dude I've had sex with. So yeah, I'm good. I'm kind of good. Yeah. He just don't got his shit together. Like he don't got his shit together. Yeah, he don't got his shit together. I think he's a liberal. I don't like certain things he said. And made me think maybe he would support a Kamala even. And yeah, you guys, I'm not with that. So shame too, because he's attractive. He lives out on the West Coast. But I think it's kind of tacky to try to pick somebody up in your training class anyway. I always kind of thought that. I did. I used to always watch out for niggas to try to pick me up in call centers because they're in the same position I'm in. So why the fuck would I want them? Why would I want them? You should always want somebody that just shows you more. They should show you more. It's bad enough I'm doing bad. I'm at a call center. I'm in the call center and telesales of insurance role. Why would I want somebody that's in that same situation as me? That's one. Then he starts showing me in other ways. And I'm not trying to be judgmental and be nasty because that's like kind of like, it's kind of messed up how I said it because like, it's almost like I'm judging him from doing what I'm doing. And that ain't fair to that aspect. But then what it was is that he starts showing me other things. Like he can barely take care of himself. And him being a man, that's not attractive. It's like, because even I'm doing a better job than him as a woman. And a lot of people feel like men should always like have an upper hand or have it together better. Well, in this case, he does not have it going on more than me. So yeah, then he started trying to give me advice to sound really dumb. And it's like, I was like, wait, I had him, but to be really honest with you guys, he's stupid. He's stupid. And I don't do stupid. Okay, I don't do stupid. I did that with every other relationship I was in. Because I somewhere or another, my exes reflected stupidity in some sort of fashion. So yeah. But that's going on with that. I'll be glad to get out of training. I start taking calls. I'm doing really good as far as interacting with people. I never really had a crippling with that. I don't like insurance sales at all. I fucking hate it. So I'm probably going to try to get a realtor's license just so I can say I acquired that as well. But I might try to get that in Pennsylvania or Michigan. I don't want it in Indiana because I don't plan to stay in Indiana. So that's that. I'm just not sure if I'm going to Michigan or Pennsylvania first. I don't know which one I'm going to first. My heart keeps telling me to take my ass to Pittsburgh. I actually know that's reverse. My brain keeps telling me to go to Pennsylvania. Usually when your brain tells you to do something, that's probably what you should do. It is, because as I'm really sitting there thinking about it, yeah, it is my brain. My brain is telling me to go to Pennsylvania, but my heart is telling me to go to Michigan. And you're supposed to always listen to your brain. Your brain is always the rooter of everything. I feel like I should go back to Pennsylvania because that way, if I don't all the way like certain aspects of Michigan, I could say like I skipped that bullshit. Either way it goes, I got to do something with Michigan because that's where I have land at now, you guys. So I will do that. And I wasn't trying to judge dude for working in the same role as me. I don't want you guys feeling like I'm trying to be like bougie or a bitch. What I mean is that you always kind of want someone that's either equal to you as far as mental thinking, or above you. And when you're showing me you're in the same role as me, you're doing worse than me and things like that, that ain't nobody I really want to talk to. It isn't, because like that's the same path I've taken in the past. I always took somebody that was like not all the way up on my level mentally or something like that. And it always bit me in my ass. So, and I'm not going to let that happen again. There's more shit I wanted to play with you guys as far as political base. Hold on, let me see if there's anything else I can find you guys while I'm making this video. A Cartier one was really good because some of these Democrats are very disturbed and crazy. Oh, so well. I'm scared to see this. Wow. I'm gonna play this short. This shit looks like it's gonna be bad. It's about Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett is really embarrassing. She's very hood. Again, she shouldn't be no Congress lady at all.
This representative from Texas, one Jasmine Crockett, really is outdoing herself this time. Let me just warn you, she's no match for Tom Homan.
Again, we have someone who doesn't know what he's doing.
Mr. Homan. You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
And, you know, this idea of, oh, you know, you're illegal and then you go out and have a child. It's not quite that simple, especially when you have people that are doing things like seeking asylum. And you have, you know, Trump that goes out there, him and his minions, and they say things like, you know what, we're only going to get rid of the bad ones, right? And so people sit there and they're like, wait a minute, you're going to come to my job where I'm working and I may be paying into taxes or whatever, or my kids are at school. You know, I think that there's going to be a rude awakening really on all sides.
This representative from Texas, one Jasmine Crockett, really is outdoing herself this time. Let me just warn you, she's no.
I don't know why that froze you guys. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Jasmine Crockett is really delusional. With her and the other Democrats fail to realize, right? If ICE comes to your job to get you, so what? They came to your job. And you want to know why? Because you should have did your due diligence to get the proper paperwork to figure out how to stay here. There's people that have been over here for 20, 30, 40 years. Okay, that's your problem now. That's your problem. The reason why I say that is if we were to do the same thing, I could easily do that in Japan. All I got to do is, it probably would be hard for me to work over there. But say if I had a business started, a powerful e-commerce business, but I went to Japan on a temporary visa of some type. I let it expire. And I just kept staying there. Some kind of way I bought a property because you can buy a property there without being a citizen, just like you can in Sweden. I don't try to do anything, try to acquire a citizen, citizenship, immigration attorney. I don't try to partake in any of the documents. I just be like, word, I'm in Japan now. Like, what up? Like, that's illegal. That's illegal. So I don't get this. I don't get what they keep fighting for. And I don't get why they keep feeling like these immigrants are like migrants are more important than us because they're not. Like this shit is crazy as hell. It's very crazy. It's so much to say, and I don't even know where it's so much. Yeah, there isn't the same in Black people. It's so many different things that I'm seeing. Like I'm just that I can play. Or let me try to play this one from Officer Tatum. I'm just because I really haven't been watching. You guys can kind of tell because I'm not even knowing what's going with like as far as who posted stuff good. I have been watching, don't lie. I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching every day. But it's like I believe there's other things I'm missing, is what I'm getting at.
Come on, man.
He said I be saying crazy shit in my rap. Yeah. He don't know what the like.
Right. My son raps. His name is Tut Tarantino.
Wait, what?
My son, right?
What's his name?
He raps under Tut Tarantino. His real name is Elijah Irvin. He raps about some of the hardest stuff in the world. And I say to him, son, you grew up in a 20,000 square foot community home.
He said I grew up in a 20,000 square foot, and it's not that big. I ain't gonna lie to you, it ain't 20,000.
Yeah.
He got the fuck out of that. Not even 15. Okay. You know what I'm saying? It don't even matter, but you know what I'm saying? He was exact.
I just turned that one off because it's really just basically a diss to how ignorant Black people talk, and I'm not really about that life. That's where me and Officer Tatum differ. I don't come on here to just only point out Black people and laugh at them, and I'm not into all of that. Just because I don't have a white husband. Even if I did, I would laugh at every race who makes an error and everybody who talks stupid and ignorant. That's what I would do. It wouldn't be just one in particular race. So I don't know. There's certain things like I said to you guys in the past I don't like about him. So I also saw President Trump. He worked to expand IVF. He promised to do that too. And people kept saying he was going, they kept trying to lie to us and say he was cutting IVF and making it harder for people. It's really, it's sad. Let's see what these people are talking about. This might be good. Hold on, you guys. I'm going to share it. I got to pee too. But I didn't want to end this video since I haven't made one in a while. But this one looks good. Let's see what they got to say. And I think it got something to do with LFR family.
These are all things that people are dealing with now. And she chose to ignore all of those things by saying she was middle class. What's middle class about having 2 doctors for parents? I'll never forget after the election, a lady was on Instagram like, oh, I don't want to go to sleep because I'm going to wake up a slave. Like I saw a whole bunch of just ridiculousness. First off, Project 2025 has nothing to do with Donald Trump or his administration. No. He has denounced Project 2025. He has told the American public time and time again that is not his agenda. His agenda was available on his website from day one. There were 25, points and plans of action for what he would do as president. And Project 2025 was not listed on there, not linked on there.
That's a real Black woman.
And unfortunately, the Democratic Party did a really good job at misinforming the public and pushing Project 2025 because it was published by a conservative organization. The Heritage Foundation has been around since forever. All right, the original Project 2025 came out like 20 years ago. So it's not like this was a new thing. It's not like these were just super ultra conservative things and people just wanted to end the world one day, or they just thought Donald Trump would be the guy to do it. These people have been pushing for these principles, and it's a manifesto is a manifesto. And
this is a good video. What's going on, everybody? My name is LFR JOJO, and today we're talking about, is Trump a good president, and will he be good for the Black community when he's in office? Shout out to Inside the Vault. This is their video. I'm going to link it down below if you want to see a full hour and 30-minute long video, because I'm not reacting to an hour and 30-minute long video. But I want to know, will Trump be good for the Black community? And why is he? And why won't he be? I want to know. Without further ado, let's get into it.
What we don't talk about is the fact that every large, either super liberal or super conservative group will produce a manifesto. It's basically them coming to the candidate saying, I have all of these votes and I have all of this money and we're willing to back you, but this is what we would like to see from you. This is what we stand for. The NAACP did the same thing with Joe Biden, and we saw nothing from their manifesto. So to think that the Heritage Foundation was going to approach Trump and we were going to see everything from their manifesto was just ridiculous. Now, moving forward in regards to why people didn't trust her, the democratic process was skipped. And so it seemed like the Democratic Party was doing a lot of deflecting. We're going to blame Trump for everything that we're doing. Skipping over a primary is the most disrespectful.
I don't know who she fucking is, right? I don't know who she is. I'm glad. Thank you, LFR family. So this is why I love Van. I'm not sure if JoJo is his son. JoJo, the one that's on this video, that might be Van's son. Because I could have swore he mentioned in JoJo. I love Van. I just don't like what he's doing with his thumbnails. I don't, because it's making me like, for some reason, it's discouraging me from wanting to watch him, but I don't know why, because I love his content. But shout out to them. And I'm going back to this woman, whoever she is. I love her. I love this lady. I love her. She's a real woman. She's there, her due diligence. She's not stupid. That's a powerful Black woman right there. To see past race, not allow herself to be part of some sort of cult just because of race and just because she feels she has to. That's a Black woman. That's a good woman right there. And that's what I don't like about Officer Tatum and people like that. And and the other dude I watched, Anton, because they always have to like say negative things about Black women in like a certain way, but you're Black yourself. And all of us, just because it was only like 7% that didn't vote for her, that doesn't mean that all of us are stupid and we all think the same way. And this woman's proving this. As a dark skin, because I know everybody acts like they don't respect light-skinned Black women. As a dark-skinned Black woman, this woman's preaching everything that is facts. She is the truth. She's the way of the light right now. She is. But I want to go back to her. I'm keeping this video. I am. It's funny how I stumbled upon this right now tonight with y'all because I never saw this.
Like just showcase we're getting rid of a democracy that I can think of. Because at the end of the day, all these people knew that Joe Biden's mental health was declining. Mm-hmm. All of these people knew that Joe Biden could not get in the stage and actually defend himself. All these people knew that Joe Biden was incompetent to continue to serve as president. Yet all these people, regardless of all the rumors that were going around, because remember, Trump was calling him Sleepy Joe. Trump was making fun of him for months. So Trump had already told us that Joe Biden needed to go, right? But everybody kept saying, oh, he's just a hater. Look at how childish he is. He's calling people names, blah, blah, blah. Then we get to the debate stage and everybody sees for themselves, oh, snap, Trump was telling the truth and the Democrats were actually lying to us. Now, the Democrats did a really good job at getting ahead of their lie and just putting up Kamala Harris, hoping that we would shut up instead of questioning why in the world didn't y'all get Joe Biden out of the race sooner? And what's also interesting is the Democrats being really hush-hush on the fact that they pushed Joe Biden out and said that you cannot rerun, yet he's still sitting as our current president. And so that's why people do not trust Kamala Harris, because she literally forced her way in. Because had we had a primary, when she participated in the last primary in 2020, she only obtained 2% of the vote.
Nah, she's cooking. She's cooking right now.
Yes, she is.
Cooking right now. She's cooking right now.
Yes, she is.
And what I love most about what she's saying is that I honestly can't tell whether or not she leans liberal or Republican. And the reason I bring that up is because she's just going off of what happened. She's literally just going off of what happened.
She is.
Had it been an election, had the Democratic Party been able to decide whether or not Kamala Harris ran or not, she probably would have won. We don't know. They didn't give the choice. She was just kind of put in a place. It was strange. And what she said about Trump, I mean, like, is she wrong?
No.
Is she wrong to say? I'm not even putting my bias out there because I have personal beliefs about it. I have beliefs deeply in my soul that, you know, I believe whatever. But she's speaking facts. She's speaking facts. Let me know what y'all think, though.
So had we did a primary again, Kamala Harris would have not been at the top of our ticket. If we're being honest, the people wanted Mark Kelly. If we're being honest, the people wanted Shapiro. If we're being honest, the people wanted to feel the burn again. You know, people did not want Kamala Harris to be at the top of their ticket. And had we instituted a primary, we would have seen that, and whoever the Democratic Party did vote to be at the top of the ticket probably would have had a better chance of winning. Because at the end of the day, when we look at the popular vote, Kamala did do very well.
She did.
You know, and so if we had a candidate that more people resonated with, if we had a candidate that people could trust, then the Democrats probably would have taken this election. You know, and it's not because of policies. It would have literally just been off sensationalism. Joe Biden only won the first time because of sensationalism. Everybody swore that Trump was so bad and the world was over because much like people were crying after this election, they were crying after the last one. Oh, we did it. Everything's going to change. And now people are crying because what? They can't fill up their tanks. They can't put food on the table. They can't pay their mortgage. They can't find a second job to make up for the new money that they all of a sudden have to get. They can't afford the child care prices that spiked overnight. Like, these are all things that people are dealing with now. And she chose to ignore all of those things by saying she was middle class. What's middle class about having 2 doctors for parents?
Yeah.
She's frying, bro. She's frying. She's frying. That's facts. What is middle class for having 2 doctors for parents? I don't know one person who got 2 doctors for parents who's middle class. That's facts. That's facts, and I love that
he looks like that. That has to be his son.
This is just my.
That's crazy because I never paid attention to this. I saw him, but I didn't occur that's his son.
For Trump are uneducated. They're stupid.
That's disgusting when they say that. I love his son.
I seen a lot of rhetoric about how if it was just for people with college degrees who voted, then it would always be Democratic. And the reason I bring that up is because, and here, if you don't know me, I already have an engineering degree. I'm getting another engineering degree right now. I graduated in May. I'm a master's degree in May at the age of 23 years old. Yeah, so I'm pretty educated if you want to use diplomas or meritocracy.
That's awesome.
The reason I have a problem with that is because educated people or people with degrees, I want to say people with degrees, tend to just naturally make more money. That's just what it is. And when you make more money, it's hard to notice when the economy sucks. And that's what I see on the Democratic side. He's right. Again. I see a lot of people who, because they have degrees, they may have cushier jobs that make more money. They don't know when the economy sucks. So when they hear people saying the economy sucks, it's like they can't recognize it. It's like they can't empathize with that. And that's why Kamala Harris lost. Kamala Harris lost for statements like, I'm middle class. Kamala, you have never been middle class. Both of your parents got degrees from Ivy League schools. You are not middle class. I'm sorry. It's no way you're in the fact that you think that's middle class.
She's dumb. She wanted us to believe it.
And it's not me hating. I'm
crazy ass lady.
You have to be able to empathize with the people that you want to represent. If you want to represent the American people, you have to understand how the American people think, how they live their day-to-day lives, how they're operating economically, spiritually, financially, socially. But it's like there's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect between this party and the American people's lives. And that's why they got flushed out. They got packed up. I'm gonna be honest. They got packed up. It wasn't even close in the election. That's why. And this is just some advice for y'all if you want to get your party back up and running.
What's middle class about growing up in Canada and going to one of the best private schools that they have? What's middle class about any of that? And so trying to relate to the plight of people when you've never actually experienced the things that they're suffering through at the hands of your administration is why she lost. Not handling your duties as borders are. At the end of the day, you cannot deny the mess that's at the border. And I think we had a lot of people not vote, not because of simple voter apathy, because
I want to hug her.
We've been doing better these past couple of years, but a lot of people were conflicted. They can't deny their status quo, yet something in them told them they just couldn't vote for Trump. So they stayed home. They knew that staying home was basically a vote for Trump. But since they didn't physically cast that ballot, they felt better about their decision. And so much like we saw with Stacey Abrams, there was a lot of sensationalism around Stacey Abrams. You have this Black woman, HBCU grad. She's everything. She's going to be the first Black woman female governor of Georgia. She went and she registered all these people to vote. 600,000 people were registered to vote under fair fight. Why did only 180,000 of them go vote for her? It's all just sensationalism. People love to show their support online. People like to follow trends. People like to look good on social media. People are not actually about that action.
But what about, like, as a mother to a daughter, what about the history that, you know, having a woman president like that, like, what about that?
We can have a woman president, just not her. I feel like when it comes to by looking at her interviews and her current performance as VP, because we can sit here and pretend like the vice president can't do anything. The vice president is control of the Senate. For those of you who really know government, the Senate is low-key more powerful than the president. Therefore, she had a lot of power to address a lot of the things that are affecting America.
Where have you been? I need you.
She was a tie-breaking vote on a lot of things that unfortunately hurt America. And she was proud of that and said she wouldn't change anything about it. So when you look at how could, you know, I be a mom and, you know, support this or not want this woman to run, she just wasn't the best woman. And so it's like, while people are saying she would have opened doors for other Black women to be the president,
she would have made us look bad.
I thought she would have got in there, messed it up, and they would have blamed everything bad on her. The economy tanks, it's all Kamala's fault. These children can't read, it's all Kamala's fault. In the same way we're blaming Trump for everything bad that's been going on for 20 years, Kamala would have got it way worse. And as Black women, we know that's the truth. She would have got it way worse. And so while we would have loved to parade her as the woman
she's right, that could have happened.
Black women, if anything, she would have closed them for us. Because people would have been like, no, the last time we took a chance, we see what happened. So it's on us as Black people to make sure we're propping up the best of the best. There was nothing, we didn't have all of this rhetoric around Obama. Obama could sit down for an hour interview with people who agreed with him and people who didn't, and he would turn out just fine. Obama could go into any crowd, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever, and make everybody love him. Kamala Harris did not have that appeal. She did not have that allure. She was not that captivating. And because of such, she wasn't the right person for the job. You know, Hillary almost did it, and Hillary, to me, would have done a better job than Kamala Harris was saying that she was going to do. And if Hillary couldn't get in, and she performed better on the campaign trail, I don't know why we thought for a second that somebody who had been on the campaign trail for less than 100 days was going to somehow take that office.
Yeah, I would say that they said Trump did that, but I want to just speak to something that you said. She made it in, and to be at the top of the ticket. So I think there was a host of.
She didn't make it in democratically. That's the process that should have taken place was passed in order for her to be on top of the ticket.
She tried to run before either.
So they about to argue about that.
She did not make nothing. It was given to her.
Is that Kamala Harris has been in office for 4 years. It's not about pushing her up and it'll make it worse for Black women. Like, yeah, you could argue that. She might be right. I would just say this. People didn't want her there because she's been in office for 4 years and they don't think she did the best job the past 4 years. Not saying she did or didn't. I'm just going off of people's beliefs, but let's continue.
So I would just say,
she didn't make it.
What I want to say is that, what is your thoughts in reference to the abortion and monitoring of your uterus, IVF, things of that sort?
So one, nobody's monitoring your uterus. That was something that was mentioned in Project 2025. And once again, that has nothing to do with the Trump administration. So we need to get away from that. Trump has got up and said, number one, that he believes in the exceptions. So rape, incest, and the life of the mother, abortion will always be available to those women. Trump has also said that 6 weeks is too early for a cutoff date because a lot of women are just finding out that they're pregnant at those 6 weeks. So Trump, just by himself, his recommendation is that states allow for exceptions and that states allow abortions past 6 weeks. Now, where they're going to cap it at, that's left up to the states. Now, when we talk about IVF, Trump also got up and said that IVF will now be federally funded and your insurance, if you are insured, will be forced to cover IVF.
See?
So to say that we're going to get
doing
rid
that
of
now
is ridiculous because only under us is IVF going to be more accessible and more affordable for women who have dreams of becoming a mother. Now, when it comes to the abortion debate, period, abortion itself is rooted in racism. So why Black people are the main proponents of abortion? Well, maybe not us. Let me not say that. I think that it's the media who makes it seem like Black people are the main proponents of abortion. Because Black women, if we're both single mothers, clearly we have our babies, regardless of how hard things might be, but they're pushing us to not have our babies. And it's been like that since its inception. Now, if we look at the goal of the KKK, if we look at the goal of COINTELPRO, if we look at the goals of all these super major races, it was always to exterminate the Black race and to prevent the upcoming of a new Messiah. Nobody that was going to be able to lead us and show us how bad things are and get us out of this social minds and start worrying about things that are important,
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. So when we're talking about abortion and we look at the fact that they were trying to exterminate us and keep us,
I love her. I need to find her name.
Chaotic. I
need to find who she is. I really roll with her. I really do. I don't agree with every little thing that she's saying, but it's like I kind of do. I don't agree with how much she was like, I wouldn't even say I don't agree. I'm not sure as far as her views on the whole Black thing and all of that. But as far as white people wanting to exterminate us, hell yeah, that did occur. And white people still feel like Black people shouldn't exist. It depends on the white person. All white people should not suffer for those that are sick. Same with any other race. Same with any other race. But everything she said about Kamala and those Democrats was completely accurate. That woman was the shit though. Out of all the Black women I've seen in the last couple months, I won't forget her. She's going to be up on that list with Bevelin. She really is. I appreciate her. I really do. She actually made my night better and she calmed me down. Because I get tired of seeing so many people be ignorant. It's the way they're talking and it's so hurtful because I'm like, damn, why are you so fucking ignorant? Open up your fucking eye holes and see what is really happening. That's all, you guys. I'm done. I'm not going to keep rambling on. I know this is really long. I done got kind of tipsy from this because I can. It depends on what the drink is. I'm saying this shit actually gets me drunk, the skinny drink. Because it's probably too, because I've been sitting at this desk all day and I'm exhausted. I've heard severe arthritis in my shoulder. So as I'm sitting here, I'm in pain. So I'm going to end this and I'm going to start doing some of my quizzes before I get too tired. I got to get back up, talk to a whole bunch of customers, persuade them to buy my life insurance product that I don't even believe in, because I don't believe that a person should be paying a whole bunch of money for life insurance. I just don't believe it. That's why I knew, I kept telling my dad this was not the career path for me. Because when I'm talking to someone and I feel confident, I got to feel confident when I'm also selling them. A little bit of me is confident in the products I'm selling, only because I really appreciate how it really caters to people that doesn't have perfect health. And I appreciate the fact that it's still giving them the option to become insured. So I do appreciate that, but I'm wondering if I should just fight harder to have sold the shit independently. But I need an hourly wage plus bonus, and that's what's being offered. And that independent shit, it's gonna take forever for you to make money like that. So I'm the hourly pay, which is really more slavery because you got to work a lot of hours. You got to work like 8 hours, which I don't want to work. But at least I'm getting hourly pay. I do want to. I could have really sold the lady I talked to earlier. She was my one and only call because we didn't talk to live people until like almost the end of our training shift today. I could have sold her, but I wanted to build more trust with her. What happened was we were conversing. I'm jotting down information about her life, but she was nice enough to trust me. You know what I mean? She was nice enough to tell me, yeah, I lost my husband. I said, I can imagine how that feels. I was your best friend. And she's like, and that's exactly what it was. You know what I mean? So I appreciated that. She told me how her sister's the only person she has that will make her final decision. She doesn't have any kids. She didn't have to tell me none of that shit. And I knew she wasn't ready to purchase this shit, though. I felt in my heart that if I would have kept pushing her, that would have broken the trust. So instead, I honored her wishes when she kept saying she had to go to a church function. I was, I'm not going to push her anymore. I was, I'm not going to hold you up. I said, when I do talk to you, I will need pertinent information when I talk to you again. Being I'm offering you a federally regulated product. It's going to require certain details, so that way we can check your medical record as well as your pharmaceutical record to assure that you are completely eligible for this product and things like that. You know what I mean? I have my little paraphrasing ways of speaking to people. I know how to talk to people. However, I don't like it. I don't. After a while, you get tired of talking to people. You get tired of macking. Go, yeah, well, I can sell you this. I can do this. And I can get you approved for this. I can get you qualified even if you got AIDS, yo. Like, oh, what, you got HIV? No problem, yo. I hit you with this one right here, nigga. Like, yo, we're going to get you with that. I mean, it's going to cost like $250, but like, I'll get you a shirt. You know what I mean? It's like I'm macking or some shit. Like, I don't like that. That was on something I like a property or something. Oh, it's going to get sold because I love it so much. That I believe in it so much that I will make you want to have sex with it by the time I'm done talking about it, because I love it. What I'm talking about is I love, or I believe in it a lot. But with this life insurance, I just be like, just give it to these people for free. These people's dying. I'm like, just get, you know what I mean? In the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. But some kind of way, I have to figure out a way to do it until I can figure something else out. I did apply for another role that is going to be infomercial sales, which I prefer. I feel like if I'm going to do a sale, do something for something I like. Do something for sexual enhancement products. People have dick problems. They have erectile dysfunction. You know, I support people that need that help. That people that's losing their hair. I've sold products for them. I'm trying to think of the products name. That's why I'm doing my pen like this. I forgot what the fucking product for the hair loss was, but I used to sell that. I sold Ninja products, you know, I like it because they're excited. So you got to live within their excitement. Okay, so I see that you're calling about the Ninja Foodie Grill. That's awesome. So do you know that with this Foodie Grill, it is the updated grill. It is the XL. So with the XL model, you can actually grill, air fry, or bake up to 4 medium-sized steaks. And you have 7 different settings. And right now, the exciting thing about it is that if you go ahead and purchase the Ninja Foodie Grill XL, you're also going to get these mini blah, 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 blah components for free. You're only going to pay for the cost of shipping, which is $10.95 blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? I like shit like that. That makes more sense. That makes more sense instead of having to keep filling a person up with feeling that we should be conversing about death. Okay. My dad was a really grim person. I loved him, and he had a really good sense of humor to the point where, to the point where people couldn't even tell for sure if he was joking or if he was dying. So my dad maintained his sense of humor to the end. He really did. He really, really did. And yeah, he did. You know. And it reminds me a lot of myself. So that's why I kind of get a little bit like sad when I talk about it, because I envision myself of what I would have done if I was in his shoes. And that's what fucks with me when I think of his death and the way he died. Because like the way he handled it was amazing. It was amazing. It was so amazing. It really was. He was such a loser in life, and he was never really a winner, but he was a winner then. He was a winner because he did handle it really well. He really did. I'm sorry. I didn't even know that was going to happen. I really didn't mean to cry. I'm sorry. I'm so selfish. The reason why I cry about my dad, we weren't even close. I cry because he reminded me so much of myself. He really did. He really tackled that death one like it was nothing. He did. And he knew he was dying. He was completely coherent. And he knew. And he joked. He laughed with us at the hospital when I went. But he knew that inevitable was there. And he went. You know what I mean? He just went on. And I understand that's what everybody does, but it was something about the way he handled it. I don't know. He wasn't, it's like he was less dramatic than what he normally was. And that was awesome too. He just reminded me so much of me. It was crazy. It was so crazy how much he reminded me of me. And that always fucks with me. I'm sorry. I need to stop acting like that because I fuck around and start crying with the customer. But maybe I'll be mad. I probably get the sales like a motherfucker. Maybe that should be my new line. Maybe I should talk about that shit. You know, I am. Because I do be talking. You have to share your story also to let them see that you're sharing your own situation. It's a psychological thing. And I do share my story, but I'll never get emotional because you can't get emotional in this field. And I would never cry to them. But I think I am going to stress on the fact of how he handled his final days. I really his final years. Because my dad knew for years he was dying. He knew for years. Just imagine walking around knowing you're dying. I know a lot of people do that, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Anyway, ignore me. I'm sorry, y'all. But thank you so much, you guys, for watching. That woman is the GOAT. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you click the notification bell before I make new content. I'm sorry I haven't been making hardly no videos, y'all. My life is really a lot, but I still love it, and I'm still really grateful for the things that is happening for me, because it could be a lot worse, as always. Yeah, I'm really, really happy though. Things could be a lot worse, and I knock on wood and thank you to the mighty power above, it isn't. But again, I do want to thank you so much again for watching. I am out. I'm going to get to my quizzes now, you guys, and God be with you guys, God be with me, and pray for me that everything goes right for me as well as you guys. And yeah, I keep everyone in my prayers. So I'm out, you guys. Thank you.